So it's the 9th of January 2022, and we're late in the evening. It's about 11 o'clock at night when I'm filming this. Is about 1:45 in the morning when I'm recording this on the 10th, so it's a little bit late coming out. So I managed to sneak that workout in sort of 30 minutes before the next day starts. So I was again on a late shift, so I didn't get out of work until about 10 o'clock. And by the time I came home, I ate some food, and I just relaxed and just spent time with my family. And then, as everyone sort of went to bed, I just went to the gym in my apartment building again. Brought my kettlebell this time, and used the one in the gyms. So yeah, look, it was a good workout today. I thought, because my squats were so tight and so rusty yesterday, I would just do some body weight stuff, and maybe throw in the kettlebell there and just see how I go. And look, the first set of just body weight felt fine, so I was like, oh yeah, that's good. Clearly my hip tightness is gone. Did a lot of stretching again before this. I warmed up properly, so I was like, clearly that left hip tightness or groin tightness is gone. And look, it didn't go to plan. I did that first set of body weight, felt good. Did another set with the dumbbell, felt good again. Did a couple more exercises, came back to do it with the dumbbell again, and I just felt tight. I didn't feel good. I just couldn't. I couldn't get as low as I wanted to, and I was having problems driving, through the glutes and through the hip, and then after a couple with that left-sided tightness in my groin came back, so I just stopped it straight away. I went, nah, stop this. I'm not going to injure myself over this. So I just did a few more sets of bodyweight squats just to see how I felt, and look, they felt okay, but I couldn't go as deep as what I wanted. So I think this will be a theme. Maybe if I'm going to squat, I'll do it before work or on days off, when I'm loose and I'm not tired and I'm not tight. I think another reason is probably because I'm so tired as well, and I even noticed that when I was doing them, I didn't have the usual stability in my legs and my knees that I normally do. So look, yeah, today was just when in doubt, train core and use a kettlebell workout. I didn't really have a plan what to do. I just sort of wanted to come and just test those squats again, and then have a mix in of everything else I could do. So did some deadlifts with the kettlebells, which is fantastic movement, great movement, felt really good. So I did some deadlifts, I did a bit of shoulder stuff with my kettlebell, I did some swings, and yeah, look, I can't express how much of a fulfilling workout you can get with just a kettlebell, a yoga mat, and some body exercises. I was literally just doing basically just a few kettlebell swings, pulls and deadlifts, and then just doing some crunch variations, and a couple sort of side planks with a dip, with 20 dips for my sort of obliques. And then just some shrugs for my traps, and push-ups as well. Look, push-ups probably a big part in it, but I cannot express to you how good of a workout and how good of a feeling you can get just doing these simple exercises. It's one that will fatigue your muscles but also keep your heart rate up. So like my previous workout that I did with just kettlebells, like everything here, the rest in between sets is no more than 30 seconds. And it's almost just your rest is just sort of getting yourself in the position and getting the equipment around you, or lying down on the yoga mat, or getting your hands in position for push-ups. So you're just getting yourself in position for the next movement, and then you go. Like that's your rest. So look, it's fantastic. It's really good. You don't have to just go in there and blast core, because I tell you what, man, you'll see towards the end of this, but my hips started to cramp when I was doing some core exercises. Anything with my legs sort of in the air, I just cramp, and I'd cramp really hard. So I think it's just one of those things where I've been working all day. Like, it was one of those shifts as well where I sort of finished and I'm gone, damn it, I didn't drink any water all day. I went 8.5 hours without drinking any water. So I just came home and I was super dehydrated. I probably should have had some electrolytes or some salts or something, but I didn't. So it was my mistake there, and I felt it later on when my hip started to cramp towards the end of the session. So yeah, look, any sort of variations with kettlebells or body weight, it's fantastic. And I think, look, especially if you're a young male and you're a young, reasonably fit male, I think there's no excuse to exclude push-ups from your workout. I think body weight push-ups, even you put a 10 kilo, 20 kilo weight on your back and do push-ups as well, I think it is a phenomenal exercise. And look, if you're young and fit, you should be doing at least 20 push-ups without fatiguing. So I did my sets in 20, and then I did one set of 30 at the end to finish. And look, not to sound full of myself or anything, but my max push-ups is in the mid-50s. I think 57. I did this sport thing trial thing with my mates once, and we got criteria for this fitness trial was how many push-ups you can do, and they go chest to the ground and then to lockout. So I could do 57 before I just dropped. I couldn't do any more. So 57 I know is my max. So I sort of go half of my max with the push-ups, and then just do sets of sort of around about 20 to 25 push-ups of half my max as my sets, and then towards the end I'll go maybe a little bit more. So I did 30 at the end, which felt good, and like that will give you enough fatigue in your arms and your chest, and it's it's not going to build a hell of a lot of muscle. It's probably not going to give you a hell of a lot of strength, but it's going to add to your muscular endurance. I think push-ups are a great way to add to your muscular endurance especially if you keep you do those 4 sets or those 5 sets and that repetition in there. Definitely for me, I think if I'm doing push-ups well, and if I'm doing a lot of push-ups often, my bench press feels fantastic. I feel a lot stronger and probably cleaner in my movement, if that makes sense, in my bench press. I feel like I'm not holding or sort of locking into one position at any particular time. I feel I'm sort of flowing freely with the bar from bringing it down onto my chest to locking it out above. I don't feel like I get stuck. So if that's a good sign for me, is if I'm pressing well and doing a lot of push-ups, that'll translate into my barbell work and my bench press. So that's something I genuinely like to make a mental note of that and be on top of that, and at least do some sort of push-ups within my week. Maybe I might forget and do it within the fortnight or something like that, but just sort of keep it up for my muscular endurance. And it's good for those days when you're not doing chest day, but you still want to keep the muscle working, and you don't want to let that muscle go to sleep or possibly atrophy if you're not hitting it too often. So it's one of those movements as well that just sort of reminds you that you still have strength there, and you can still use that group and get a filthy workout as well. It knackers you. And same with crunches, man. Crunch variations for your core. There's a squillion different variations you do, and I haven't done these sort of crunches in a while. Like when I do core, I'll usually do a few maybe different exercises, because there's so many to choose from. Like it's ridiculous. You can do so much, and I think, look, if you're like me and you're trying to do a sort of train every day philosophy, I think, look, if you trained everything and you're sort of like, well, where do I go next? When in doubt, just do core. I think I don't know if it's a Russian weightlifting thing or a Chinese. I've heard it somewhere, but I think some sort of famous weightlifter or Russian weightlifter said, look, when in doubt, train core or your forearms. And I think that's easy said. Then that's pretty easy. You don't need anything to train your core. You don't need any equipment to train your core. You just need a little bit of space. Sit down on a carpet or use a yoga mat and just go at it. You can go on YouTube and you can find 10-15 free different core exercises that people use. and it'll be effective. And look, every time I do core, I didn't do a huge amount today, but I did enough that where I know tomorrow I'm going to be pretty sore, and it's going to hurt to laugh, it's going to hurt to take deep breaths. So look, it's another one of those workouts where it's like, look, we're here, we're getting it done. Yes, it's close to midnight. Yes, I'm tired. I'm a little dehydrated. Look, all I want to do is sleep, and even now I'm recording this. All I want to do is go to sleep, but I owe it to myself. I've got to keep pushing on this thing. I think this sort of exercise, I think mentally it takes you places, and it was a real struggle getting myself downstairs to the gym this afternoon. I sort of sat on the couch, staring at my feet for a good 20 minutes before I actually got up to go downstairs to go to the gym. I think it's just those mind games where you're so tired and you just want to go to sleep, and your brain's trying to convince you, it's like, look, just put your head down on a pillow for 10 seconds and rest, and then you can go to the gym. But if you put your head down, you're gonna fall asleep, and then you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning the next morning and you'll regret it, because you made a promise to yourself that you were going to do it, and you broke a promise to yourself. And that's one thing, I think, one of the things that definitely makes me feel the worst I ever feel is when I break promises to myself, or when I hold myself to a standard and say, look, I'm gonna train every day, I'm gonna do this, and look, I think the thought of disappointing myself and breaking a promise to myself is why I can't stop. I can't not do this. I have to commit for the whole year. Look, I can't face myself if I don't get this done. The disappointment in letting myself down will hurt too much, and I can't do it to myself. I owe it to myself to keep doing this and to keep pushing for this. I think I've learned, growing up and through life, is quitting sucks. Like, quitting really sucks. Winning is good. Winning is a fantastic feeling, but I think the fear of quitting probably motivates me more than the joy of winning. I think the pain of quitting definitely lingers more than the joy of winning. I think it's probably shouldn't be scared of it all the time, but I think it's healthy to acknowledge its existence there in the back of your mind, that yes, there is a quit in you, but not today. I can quit when I'm dead kind of mentality. And look, I was reading about this actually the other day. Sort of these fitness studies that I think they're performing a certain activity. I think it was a bar hold or something like that. So where you jump up, you hold onto a pull-up bar as long as you can, and then you let go. So I think these neurologists have found that there's a group of neurons somewhere in the back of your brain anatomy, one of the lobes in the back of your brain, that actually switch off and turn off once you decide you're going to quit something, and they don't turn back on. So, not mean they don't turn back on forever, but once you've decided you're going to quit something, they'll turn off. And I think that's a insightful factor. I think I take it as quite insightful in that once you've made up your mind you're going to quit, there's no going back. You don't halfway through quitting you don't go, actually I'm just going to keep going with this. I think most of the time, and I don't know if other people can relate or not, but I think definitely when I look back at times in my life where I've quit halfway through, a goal, I don't think there was any moment where I thought, mid quitting, that I'll stop this process and actually keep going and actually keep striving towards this. So that relays a lot of meaning to me, that even in your anatomy, and the your sort of electrical chemical makeup of your brain, that once these neurons turn off, there's no coming back. So once you quit, there's no coming back. And like, sure, you do a goal, like say you do a diet, you quit your diet, and then 6 months later you start again. Those neurons turn back on again, and then you decide to quit again, they'll turn off, kind of thing. But I think it was very insightful for me to understand that. I think the psychology behind it is fascinating. And I think it's something that is applicable to life and building resilience, and just becoming more of a resilient human being and being able to deal with the things that life throws at you. And I think, look, the more you go through tasks that make you want to quit, the more sort of resistant you'll be to the temptation of quitting when you're undertaking hard tasks in the future, because one, what quitting feels like. It feels terrible, it feels crap, and then two, that you've been through these experiences where you've wanted to quit, but you can make it through those. You can feel like you want to quit every single day of your life if you really want to, but there's been hard days before and you've gotten through hard days, so why not do it today? Why not do it tomorrow? Why not keep doing it? Because once again, that feeling of quitting and that feeling of failure, it sucks, man. And I think the amount of fulfillment you get when you stick with something and you achieve a goal is it's almost indescribable. How good you feel afterwards as well. So I'm gonna leave on that note, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.